Hey guys, today I want to talk about leaving your apartment or your house or whatever alone for long periods of time. It's not always a good idea to leave it alone for long periods of time for many reasons, and I'm going to get into this. A while back, I decided that I was going to leave my storage place empty for a while. And then we had some stuff stored in there. We weren't opening the door as much. I figured the place would be okay. It was right next to my house. We usually don't have any bug problems. Well, what happened was that we were leaving the lights on in there. And any crack that you have at night attracts all these bugs, and they come into these little cracks and stuff like that. What had happened is they all got trapped in there. And during like about a week to 3 weeks of not going in there, I guess what had happened was the toilet had dried out. And it wasn't one of those flush toilets. It was one of those, one of the ones that use a scoop, and you scoop a bucket of water in there and it goes down and that's it. Well, those tend to dry out fast. So there was a direct opening going down to the septic tank, and guess what lives down there? All kinds of insects, flying ants, cockroaches, palmetto bugs, the ones that are about the size of your thumb or bigger. And all those came into the apartment during that time. And I think they were attracted to the light that was going down into the sewer because they were coming up through there. So there was a direct line to all those insects, and they were flying around and going around inside there, wreaking havoc. And they all ended up dying because Justin had sprayed in there a little bit before. I think he sprayed just a little bit, just enough so that it was in the air. So when I went in there, half the bugs were already dead. But the fact was that they were there, and there was a lot of them. And then we had another apartment here, and what had happened was the light was on, somebody went away for a little while, and what happened was the bugs went in there. Ants, mosquitoes, every single thing you could possibly think of went inside that apartment. So what happens is, I think some of it is they're attracted to stale air, because if I'm in my apartment, we don't have any insects. Okay, we rarely see any insects in it. Once in a while, we'll have some moss flying around the light bulbs or something like that. But for the most part, we really don't have that many insects, mosquitoes, or ants. My house is really good for keeping away ants and bugs. I have one of those electronic things that makes a ultrasonic sound or something, and I think that helps. And the fact that I have like one of those electric bug killers in there, and they get attracted to that, and that kills them too. But I also think it has to do with the exchange of air. Bugs tend to seek out places where there's stale air, and then they go into those places because that's where they like to live. They like to live in holes in the ground, places like that where the air is stale. So when your apartment isn't getting an exchange of air every day or every couple of days from people going in and out, I think that tends to attract the bugs. And I'm sure there's other reasons too, because when you leave a place empty in the Philippines, it becomes a bug den. It just does. It's really gross when you walk in there after a week or 2 or 3 weeks or a month or even longer. It can get worse. The whole place will be infested with bugs, and it's really difficult to get rid of them, get them out of there, and you have to clean the place really good, because part of it is your like I said, your toilet bowl has dried out, and the bugs are now coming up from the toilet bowl. They're coming up through your sink. You need somebody to go in there every day or every other day, at least a couple times a week, exchange the air, leave the door open for a few minutes, turn a little water on, flush a little water down the toilet, maybe put a little bit of bleach down the toilet also, sweep your floor every day or whatever, have them come in there at least once or twice a week, sweep the floor, go around there, have a fan running maybe to circulate the air in there. You need to get rid of that staleness that's in there. It's just something about it being empty that attracts bugs. Because if I was sleeping on my bed all day and going in and out of the house once in a while, and not moving around in the house too much, there's still no bugs in the house. But if I was to leave for a week, there's something about that door being shut, possibly having a light on, thinking that we're keeping out intruders when actually it's inviting all the bugs in the neighborhood at night by keeping the light on. We think we're keeping out intruders when actually it's attracting intruders. It's attracting all those bugs at night, and they're getting in every crack in your door. So guys, remember to put on door stops. If you're going to leave your place alone for like more than a week or 2, have somebody go in there that you totally trust and lock up everything that has to be locked up or whatever. Have them just go in there, flush the toilet, put some water down the sink, turn the fan on for a night and then shut it off the next day. Circulate the air around in there. Spray some spray in there to keep the air fresh. And also, guys, put those little bug things in there, the ones with the light. They look like a night light, but it also electrocutes the bugs. Get one of those. You can get them on Lazada. I also have one of the pulsating things that puts sonic pulses or something in the air. I think I paid like $4 for that on Lazada. I have that, and that works really, really good. I swear by them. I think that they do work. Some people say that they don't work. I think they do work. I have that on. But you want to keep your place clean, bug-free. Have some people go in there, check on it. Sometimes if I'm going away for a while, I'll just have like a friend of mine stay over there or something like that, or I'll have the maid tell her just sleep there, or whatever. Just sleep there, and sleep with. Because I'm fortunate enough that I have people in my apartment, because I have my foster daughter there, and she sleeps there, and she takes care of the place, and she has her sister there. Sometimes her mother will stay over too, and I tell them, look, just stay here if I go away for a couple of days. That way I don't have to worry about anything happening there. I know that the house is safe. I know that there's no bugs in there and all that. It's some people think, well, gee, Steve, I don't want anybody in my house while I'm gone. I understand that. I fully get it. At least then have somebody that you trust, either another expat or somebody, a Filipino that you trust, whatever. Tell them nobody should be in there except for them. And that's it. And that's all. And then make sure that air is getting transferred, that they're going in there every day. Pay them enough to go over there, open up the door, sweep, pour some water in the toilet, pour some water down the sink, possibly spray some Lysol or something like that in there. Maybe that'll help keep the bugs out. I'm not sure what the secret is, and I'm sure there is a secret. There's something, though, that when the house sits idle and nobody goes in there, that attracts those bugs. And I really believe it's the stale air that does that, because I think with the air when you walk into an apartment after it's been sitting there for like a week or two, you can smell that stale air. I honestly believe that that's what attracts the bugs here. I notice when I'm back home, back in the States, because it's colder and stuff, we don't get those infestation problems like we do over here. I think part of it is the heat also, that the heat in the apartment goes really drastically high because there's no AC. And even if you do have the AC on, I still think that the air gets stale. Even though the air is circulating in there, it's the same old air circulating. Because some people have had their AC on, they still get infested with bugs. I'm not sure what it is. I think part of it is like I said, is also the toilet drying up. The toilet drying up is going to let all those bugs down in your septic tank come up through that pipe into your apartment, like with what happened here. That's also another thing. But I noticed the apartments had tons and tons of mosquitoes in there. Tons of mosquitoes. How they got in there, God only knows. It could be through a little hole, a little crack, the doorway or something. But somehow they got in there and they were attracted to the light that was on in there. Anyway, guys, just be sure when you leave your apartment here for any period of time, whether it's to go back to the U.S. or whatever, that you have somebody go in there, leave a fan on, exchange the air, have the door open up for a while, let somebody go in there, sweep, spray, whatever they need. Also get like an ionizer to kind of keep your air fresher in there. That also helps. A small ionizer plug probably costs you like maybe $5 or something like that on Lazada. Ionizers keeps the air fairly clean. That also helps. I have an ionizer in my house. I honestly believe that helps. I believe that the bug thing helps, and also the bug zapper helps. There's 3 things in my house that I have, and I've never had problems. But I also believe that if I did leave the house alone, it would still have somewhat of a problem, but that would lessen the effect. So I just wanted to put that out there, because anytime you leave a place here alone, they get infested, especially when it's like an apartment or something like that. Now, some of the condos, I've heard they've had problems with infestations too, but not as much because the pipes have loops in them. The bugs won't crawl up that far if you're on the 34th floor or the 12th floor or whatever. It's not as bad. But when you're in an apartment complex such as our place is here, you are going to have some sort of issue. You will have issues. You're in a place has a lot of bugs around here because you're out in the woods or whatever. Homes are going to have the same issues. I still think some of these condos and stuff, some of those are going to have issues too, because if you leave a place for a while and you leave the light on or something like that, you're just going to have problems. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show. But remember, play it safe all the time whenever you leave a place alone. God bless.